You are now listening to Out of the Blank.
Welcome to another episode of Out of the Blank. I'm here with a friend of mine from high school who, I haven't really actually hung out with you outside of school.
Yeah, I think we've hung out a couple times. I helped you move the one time.
Yeah, we had literally class together for almost 3 years, I'm pretty sure. HVAC together with Skylar George, and he's someone that I've talked to about his job going into different people's houses and taking shits in their house.
Yeah.
Same thing I do at a hotel. I've been in every room, done the same thing.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. So what I want to talk to you about is what are you up to? Like what do you do for money? I would say.
Well, right now I'm doing a little bit of everything. I work in my aunt's law office, and so I've been doing that, and I'm also I don't get paid for it, but I'm talking to people at like churches and AA groups and stuff like that about drunk driving, and I'm kind of like a spokesperson for alcohol awareness and what it does to you.
So before we touch on the subject that we're obviously going to get to, but what do you want to do down the road, like passion-wise?
Well, right now I'm also in college, so I'm gonna get my degree in mechanical engineering.
Right on. So what do you plan on doing with that?
I'm not really positive yet. I mean, I'm gonna do something in the engineering field.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I want to work, like where I want to work yet, or anything like that. Because you can do a lot with a mechanical engineering degree. I mean.
Yeah, I have no idea what mechanical engineering is. So I mean, if you want to explain that a little bit to me.
Well, mechanical engineering it's basically you do a bunch of like parts work, and you learn how to it's kind of like HVAC. You do a bunch of you build things, like you build like the units, and then it's just a bunch of different things that you do with it. I don't know how to explain it really.
You can sum it up like Elon Musk style type stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that.
You've always been like that. You've
yeah.
always been like creative in a way, whether it's making certain objects out of copper piping or doing things of craftful nature. You've always been resourceful with your hands. Is that you appreciate building stuff?
Yeah, I like building stuff. Like it's anything from engines to you'll learn how to build. I mean, you learn how to everything works. You learn how the innards work in an engine, and
once you slowly start working on it, it's like things start to
everything locks into place.
You're able to troubleshoot better too. I found that once I started learning a little bit more about my car and doing research on it, I could tell when something's not sounding right. You have to bring it into the shop or something to have someone who's actually paid to work on cars. Because me trying to work on my car, just go out there with a hammer and end up like the scene from Hot Rod where he's just banging the engine block.
Yeah.
So what I want to talk to you about is, obviously it's a conversation between me and you, but I want to get this right out of the way. Your car accident. I don't know too much of what happened during it, and if it gets too like touchy of a subject or something, you can just let me know. That's enough. But,
no, it's fine. I'm actually glad you called me to talk about it because I'm going to be speaking at Stephen Decatur High School on April 10th about drinking and driving and why you shouldn't do it. And I'm going to be speaking to the juniors and seniors for their pre-prom assembly.
So can you take me through, because I'm not, I just knew you were in a car accident and someone tragically lost their life.
Yep.
And I don't know anything about, I want to know what was leading up to the night, the plans. I want to know everything, what was going through your mind before, after, your recovery. I want to know it all, man.
Well, we can, I can give you as much as I know because I got memory loss. I don't remember a lot of it, but I can give you what people have told me, and just for the sake of the kids, the guy's family, I'm not going to bring his name up.
Don't have to.
So the night of September 10th, 2016, I was drinking and I was partying. We went to Brew River, and then we went back to the guy's house that I was at, and we were hanging out there, and we were drinking a little bit, and we decided that we wanted to go to another party. So we were heading from Salisbury to Pocomoke to one of his friend's house down there, and because they were having another party down there, and I was already drunk, I guess, and we were driving down the road, and leading up to the accident, we drove down 13 from Salisbury, down near Salisbury University, and I turned on Sheep House Road, which is right off 13 next to the dealership in Pocomoke down there, the Chevy dealership, and I hit a tree going 100 miles an hour, and I don't know what led up to the accident. I don't know if I passed out. I don't know if the steering locked up in the car because they put a recall out on the car. Like literally a month after the accident, they put a recall out on the car and said that car was affected and it's where the steering wheel would lock up. Mm-hmm. So I don't know really what happened in the accident, and but from what people were saying, I was just I was drinking, so that was a cause. That was a factor in the accident. And
well, anytime alcohol comes up in an accident or any type of situation in your blood or something,
it doesn't matter how drunk you were. Just that's always a cause. And so that is the accident portion. And tragically, he lost his life, and I broke almost every bone in my body. I broke my back. I broke my skull in 3 places. I broke my whole left arm. Broke my whole right leg. Orbital bone, nose, ribs. My foot got torn off, but luckily they were able to put it back on. My kneecap exploded, and I got a bunch of scars. And I did a lot of physical therapy. I was in and out of the hospital for 9 months.
Now, what was the next thing you remembered?
Waking up.
In the hospital?
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was...
Were you just disoriented, didn't know where you were?
That was scary. And it was, we did a lot of, they didn't tell me that somebody died yet because I had a brain injury when I first got out of the hospital.
They didn't want to shock you?
Yeah, they didn't want to shock me more and put me into a deep state or like a coma again. So they didn't tell me about that he died until about a month later. And then I finally started piecing stuff together, when my head started getting right again, and I started doing brain exercises and all this to get my head straight. They finally told me that somebody died in the accident, and that, and then they told me his name, and I started and then it started coming back to me, what we were doing that night, in which we were just partying, drinking, having a good time, and.
Did how long after the accident did you wake up?
It was 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 or 3 weeks.
Were you, when you were, before that month before they told you, were you kind of, sleeping, and when you were sleeping, were you getting these dreams of, the accident, of, stuff, little bits and pieces of the night? Yeah,
well, not bits and pieces, because I never got my memory back, because they told me that the cognitive part of it was, your mind tries to block bad things out, traumatic events.
Wall,
yeah, and it puts it behind a wall, and I was never able to get that back. I tried to get hypnotized. I tried a bunch of things with my counselor to talk about. She tried to get some of it out of me, and she wasn't able to. And so they said that my mind just blocked it out because it didn't want me to see what happened.
Besides physical therapy, did you have to go through major emotional therapy too?
Yeah, I did.
That seems like something that it definitely probably tolls on you every time you look in the mirror.
It does.
I don't mean to bring it up, but the first thing I noticed is
scar on my head.
Yeah, it's there's going to be certain things that when you're taking a shower and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, it's probably the pain's never going to go away. Do you see that as a bad sign, or do you see that as a symbol of what happens when you can fuck up in a way?
Yeah, I mean it's a symbol that I've been 2.5 years sober. So
congratulations,
man. Thank you.
Because you definitely took a complete spin from what I remember you in high school to be. I mean, it's really good to see that you're alive. First of all, I'm very appreciative of that. Whatever causes or whatever is out there that did whatever, or if it was just a matter of how the car hit or something.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that you're alive and you're here with us, and you're also teaching kids the warnings. basically of drinking and driving, because it is a serious factor. I do say in some cases alcohol is a social lubricant where it can open you up and bring you closer to somebody. We've all experienced those like drunk conversations with somebody. But getting behind the wheel is never a smart idea.
No, it's not.
We crack jokes, comedians crack jokes, people crack jokes on drinking and driving. Like, oh, it's 3 a.m., I want a taco. Who cares about somebody's family? It's like, it's fun to joke and kid, but to actually go out and do it, it's a dumb choice, and it can make a giant lifetime mistake that can happen in a quick second.
It does. It can. I mean, I lived it, so it's, I went to jail. I was in jail for a year, and, I did my time, and other than that, I mean, I'm doing everything I need to do, and I'm just getting my life back on track. I'm finally getting myself together to the point where, I mean, like, I got a loving girlfriend, I'm doing everything I need to do that's right, I guess. I mean, I have no complaints, I'm...
Getting your life on track.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like you're doing a lot better, dude, and I appreciate that, you took the time to even be on the podcast and explain that.
No problem, man.
Like I said, I don't want to focus on that 100%. What I want to do, I do want to talk about, though, is you had to share a cell in prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it prison or jail?
It was jail.
Okay, so you had to share a cell in jail, and you spent 2 years in there.
A year.
A year?
Yeah.
Okay. How hard was it to masturbate with the other dude in there?
You didn't do it.
What?
You'd get killed.
For a whole year?
No, man, you go in the shower if you're going to do it. But, because it's a single shower. You don't shower, like, it's not like you see in on TV where it's like 6 fucking showers in one, where everybody showers in the same room together.
And
you have your own shower.
To the wall.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, though.
Like, yeah.
What about taking a shit with the other dude in there? You understand? I'm Robbie, man. I'm still. I may look a little bit different. Yeah, no,
man. Look, you don't like when you're you had rules, man. Like unless you were locked in at nighttime and you need to take a shit, you didn't take a shit in there with your cell buddy in there. And if you did, that motherfucker, whoever it was, is rolling over and they're putting their head against the wall, because if they turn their head, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta beat them up. I mean, they can't be looking at you.
They gotta look at you. Wait, so
no, they turn their head against the other way. Like they turn over. Like if because the bunks are up against the wall, this like straight back, and then the toilet's right here on near the door.
Oh, so they're not on top of each other. They're side to side, basically.
What no, it's a bunk bed.
Oh, it's a bunk bed.
But I'm saying like instead of like turning the way towards the toilet, he has to roll over and turn the other way, so he's looking towards the window.
So you get beat up if you accidentally look at a guy taking a shit.
Yeah, if he tells you to turn over and then you look back,
Last in jail. Holy crap, man! I would accidentally stare at someone when they're taking a shit, make eye contact, and.
But I mean, you just can't do it. It's just. I mean, there's like a lot of things that it's definitely a big challenge, because you gotta. I mean, you just gotta learn how to respect people, and like in jail, people are fucking fools, dude. For real.
It's not just in jail, dude. People in society are fools. Man. Yeah, crack open the Diet Cream soda because everyone knocks it. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. And the Diet Coke's there too if you want it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, nah, man. You just like you gotta. It's a big step, like in jail, man, because you gotta respect people and people respect you. You don't. I mean, you can't act like a bitch in there. You can't. Like if somebody calls you out. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, you gotta kind of take in society. You gotta make sure you're respecting people and not being really an asshole. I mean, we've all witnessed to people.
Well, that's what I mean. You can't be an asshole in there to people, because then you just you try to get along with everybody, because if you don't, you're not gonna last.
You're somebody's lunch, basically.
Yeah. And I mean, if you give respect, you get respect. You don't you just. As long as you get along with people, they'll get along with you.
Now, are the meals as good as the school lunches?
No. They were not.
What were the food they were serving you?
Well, I mean, they served, like, basic food, like, they served, like, lunch like school, but, it was different. It wasn't, they had meatloaf in there, but everything was made out of turkey meat. Like, they didn't have... pork in there at all, because they can't, because Muslims, and it was they don't serve pork at all in jail, and beef was just too expensive to serve all the time, so they used turkey, ground turkey. So like they made meatloaf with the ground turkey, they made chili, they made all sorts of things, just with ground turkey, And then, we'd have like a cheeseburger once a week. Then we'd have like a chicken patty once a week, or fish, like a fish patty. Or they'd they have these little chicken, the chicken cheesesteak pucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had those, and and like usually with the chicken cheesesteak, you got French fries. Like they'd fry French fries in there.
You eat French fries?
Yeah,
Man?
and
those people. Yeah, that explains why homeless people try and go into jail sometimes.
Yeah, well, in the wintertime, I saw a lot of the homeless people from Ocean City in there because they go in there during the wintertime. They'll get themselves in trouble to go in there for the 5 months, 4 months during winter, so they get a free place to stay, and it's hot. It's hot in there, so they're not on the streets. Yeah, and I don't know. A couple of them homeless people piss me off because they're just
rubbing shit all over the place.
Not even that. They're annoying.
They're a loony.
And and they just they're just, I don't know.
So when you're going back to your road to recovery and everything like that, how obviously excruciatingly painful was the physical therapy?
It was bad, man. It was. I'm still going through physical therapy, and just
probably
to
be doing that for a couple more years, man.
Yeah, for probably for another year, because I gotta get probably surgery on my knee, and so I go through physical therapy, and I mean I gotta do a lot of leg work, and I gotta do squats and do stuff with my leg to get my leg working again. My foot got ripped off, so. I mean, it's just, I had to build a lot of strength back up in this leg.
Well, it's shit. At least you can wear shoes again. They reattached it and everything.
Yeah.
You gotta think about the good parts about it, too, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's on there. So, and you can see where, you can feel, where it got cut off.
I can see the dent.
Yeah. So, and, I mean, that, you see me scratch my leg, it's because it's, sometimes
feels like pins and needles?
Yeah. So, it's,
So you feel like kind of phantom limb syndrome in a way? I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, phantom limb syndrome, where you get something ripped off and then it's or blown off, whatever. A lot of military has it.
Is there anything that the doctors or anything warned you that you might experience through your road to recovery? Anything that you might develop, like a syndrome or something like that? Because there's a lot of syndromes when it comes to tragic accidents. First of all, you even getting behind the wheel again.
Yeah.
Is that even a possibility to feel as comfortable as you were before, or you think you're always going to be on an extreme kind of severe watch on it? I
mean, I've been you went to school with me since we were in what, 6th grade, 4th, 5th grade.
Yeah.
So I used to race motocross, and I used to I've had a lot of cars, and I've had a lot of fast cars.
Yeah.
And so I'm I know I can drive, and I still got my truck, so got that back running and everything, so that's done, and I think it'll be all right. I mean, it might feel weird for me to drive. I haven't driven in 2.5 years, so we'll see how it goes. But I think it'll be all right when I finally drive again.
Yeah, because I know that's a thing, just getting kind of PTSD in a way when it comes to that. I mean, I get PTSD when I'm in the grocery store and I see a little kid pushing a shopping cart, because I know that little fucker's going to hit the back of my heel.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, so it's I mean, but is there anything that they kind of came to the conclusion of that you might end up having to face down the road? Anything your family you might know that was particularly worried about?
Well, I mean, I have PTSD, and I have panic attacks. I have really bad anxiety now, and I'm medicated for it. And they just told me that I'm probably always going to deal with panic attacks, and then I get an occasional nightmare, but that's about it. And then pain, I'm going to have arthritis, and just because I broke basically every main body part in your body.
Yeah.
So they said I'm going to have arthritis. I already have arthritis in my back, so it's it gets worse. But down the road, they said I might, but by the time I'm 50 or 60, I'm probably going to be not walking real well. But I
don't think anybody's walking pretty well when they're 60.
Yeah, well, I mean,
some of the people when they hit 60 look like goblins.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
yeah, with the big ass ears and shit. But no, they told me I'd probably be walking with a cane. When I was around 60.
That's when you get a pimp cane.
So yeah, just get a little pimp cane with little crystal or diamond on top
Puff
of that
Daddy
motherfucker.
written on the side of it.
Yeah, Pimp Daddy, Puff Daddy.
I mean,
puff, puff, give, motherfucker.
Now, so when it comes to medicine, do you see it as a good thing and a bad thing for recovery? Because obviously you don't want to take it too far.
Yeah, I don't take pain medicine anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
When did that?
I haven't taken pain medicine in a year and a half. And
you don't. I mean, you just tough it out. Kind of use it as like
as a
push.
I'll take Advil and stuff like that, you know. But that's all I take. Cause I was on the opiates and stuff, you know. After my car accident, they gave me oxycodone and morphine and I mean everything under the damn sun.
They were fun,
you know?
but it wasn't something you wanted to stick with.
No.
Yeah.
I mean they like that, you know. I mean I wouldn't say they were fun because I don't like feeling like that, you know. And I finally said one day, you know, I was like, you know what? I said, I need to get off these damn things, you know, because they started not working. And then you need more. And that's how you get addicted to shit.
Yeah.
Is because you need more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
And so one day I said, you know what? I told my pain management that they need to start cutting me back and start weaning me off of it. And they did. And so I've been off of them since before I went to jail. So
that's good that you could take that, you know, priority to.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I take anxiety medicine, and that's the only thing I take.
I do too. So
then I take mood stabilizers, you know. So like I'm on Klonopin, and I'm on this medicine called Latuda. So it's those are the two medicines I take, and you know, and I take nerve pain medicine, but it's gabapentin. It's a non-narcotic. It's it's just to like because I got a lot of nerves that are severed.
Yeah.
And
it's like ibuprofen.
Yeah. Basically, but it's a little bit stronger. You know, it's for the nerves, not for actual like bone pain or physical pain, muscular pain, blah blah blah.
See, one thing I'm studying is like not physical therapy, but psychotherapy and like dealing with psychology, those types of stuff. Well, it's crazy to think that like kids that get diagnosed with like bipolar disorder and stuff in schools at such a young age, you really can't define if a kid has a disorder, especially at like the age of like 6.
No,
so what's stopping that kid? Like being diagnosed for ADHD, is that a kid that's hyperactive, or is that a kid that has a like just they're being a kid? Like obviously they're gonna run around and not want to sit down. So
that's what I mean. You know, like there a lot of kids, they do have problems. You know, like a lot of kids have ADD, and you know they can't concentrate in school and stuff, and a lot of kids they do get really hyper. You know, but I mean. Don't feed your kids sugar all the time, you know? Like most of the kids that are really hyper, their parents are feeding them in the morning, you know, they're eating Lucky Charms or Cinnamon Toast Crunch or a lot of stuff with sugar in it. You can't feed your kids sugar all day long, you know? That's what messes them up.
That's what they want. They want the Cookie Crisp. They want the Count Chocula.
Yeah,
I wanted that in my bowl every morning.
Damn right.
With a thing of Fresh Prince on TV.
I mean, look how we looked when we were younger, though. You know, like
I was
a fat little kid, you know.
My childhood obesity came from eating breakfast at home and then going into school and then them serving breakfast at Buckingham.
Yeah.
They served the Egg McMuffins and the chocolate milk. You're not just going to give me that. I mean, it tastes just like I'm at McDonald's.
Do you remember, like in high school, do you remember how much food I used to eat? Like when the chicken nuggets day?
Dude, you were skinny in high school, man.
I know, but do you remember how much food I used to eat in there?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I used to tear up them chicken nuggets.
Dude, I used to eat a whole bag of Doritos in one sitting. You saw me thin out when I went to high school.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I used to crush the Doritos up and I used to just like eat them.
Yeah,
like, you know, out of the bag.
And you down it with chocolate milk. Sick son of a gun.
Yeah.
Like you're like someone who drank the strawberry milk. Whoever drank the strawberry milk, you're a nasty mother.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just something. Like I remember always getting like I'd be excited for school lunch, dude. I don't want to sound like an inner fat kid, but it's
it depended on what it is. Like I think like at Decatur, the best school lunches were when the chicken nuggets and the with the mashed potatoes and the chicken gravy, the Uncrustables. Yeah, they were pretty good. And then the cheese sticks, like the breadsticks that had the cheese inside of them.
Yeah,
those were pretty good.
I like sticks.
And and then the like the nachos with Tex-Mex.
Dude, the cheeseburgers were really good, man.
They used to be.
The pizza though, which one do you want? Yeah. What do you mean they used to be?
The burgers were good. Like our freshman sophomore year, the burgers were good, and then like junior and senior year, they got like nastier.
Do you know why?
Why?
I actually had my mom's friend on the podcast.
Michelle Obama.
Yes, it's Michelle Obama, and he actually is a cafeteria. He's a lunch lady at Shao.
Okay.
So
you mean a lunch man? lunchman.
He likes to be called lunch lady.
Oh yeah.
He's a gay guy, but he's cool, dude. He's a big pot advocate, so he's like, how'd you go in there high?
Yeah, well, I got my medical card, but I don't use it much. Like I'll use it every once in a while for I'll get these
for anxiety.
Yeah, well that's what I got it for too. But like I'll use it for they got these Mary's medicinal pain patches that it's kind of like a nicotine patch, and you just put it wherever the pain is. They're like an inch by an inch, and then they got bigger ones that are like 3 inches by 3 inches. You just stick it where the pain is, and
that's a good slogan, stick it where the pain is.
Huh?
So that's a good slogan, stick it where the pain is. I know a strip club with a similar slogan.
Yeah.
I got a couple words replaced.
I'm gonna drink this cup. There's just a lot of different things that go on, but yeah, man. With the medical marijuana is one big thing that I like to talk about because it helps a lot of people. Like my granddad has Parkinson's, and I've been trying to get him to try pot. Like back in the 80s, he used to smoke pot, and then all of a sudden, he stopped.
Woodstock, man.
Yeah, and he stopped smoking, and now, but he has Parkinson's, and he's not doing too well in health wise, and he's shaking, and he's so I'm trying to get him to do it, but I can't get it through his head that it helps, and I've showed him videos and everything else that it actually helps people stop shaking.
Well, some people are set in their beliefs. They believe there was a time and place for it, and now that they're
older.
Well, what's pot seen as? It's obviously either seen as a gateway drug or a child drug.
Yeah, well,
someone
actually,
it's a stoner or something.
But the thing is now, DARE,
that was a freaking DARE program to get people on drugs.
Yes.
It basically was the whole thing with
you saw that they kind of faded the marijuana out as a gateway drug. Yeah. Alcohol is now their gateway drug.
First of all, you can't be an officer walking to a school of little kids and explain to them all the wonderful things drugs.
Yeah, why are you going to do that to a kid in 5th grade or 6th grade?
You show them a briefcase. This is cocaine. It can make you stronger, faster, and it's like you're explaining all the good stuff. What about the statistical facts? Hell yeah, these kids are going to want to try and be superheroes. It's like their main thing. I mean, even now, I still wouldn't mind having superpowers every now and again.
Yeah.
Being able to teleport somewhere instead of driving my car.
That movie Jumper.
That was a good ass movie, man.
Yeah, where he could just teleport, and he was sitting on the what was it, the Minx, I think it's called, Sphinx.
Yeah, Sphinx. If you had one superpower, what would it be?
Oh man, I don't know. It would depend, I guess. But I mean,
I would want to jump through time.
I'd like to do time travel but if I could do time travel, I would. It'd either be time travel, teleportation, or flying. I'd like to fly. Like that. I think flying would be fun. If you could fly wherever you wanted to go, shit.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you that same question, but imagine if you had if you were gonna, it's would you rather, okay? If you had the ability to fly, but you were blind, or you had the ability to teleport, but you could only do it, I guess, you have to do it, and then you have to wait like 30 days to teleport back. Again? Yeah.
Oh, well.
So you'd be stuck somewhere for 30 days.
Okay, well, then, I guess it would depend on where I went, I wouldn't do like what the Jumper did and sit on top of the Sphinx, I wouldn't teleport there, but,
Yeah, imagine you get up there and you teleport and then you gotta wait 30 days, you're like, fuck, gotta walk all the way down.
Sitting through the airlines, I went to England in high school. I was over there for 3 months.
I didn't know this.
Remember after high school? I went to, during the summer after 2014.
No, I did not hear about this.
When I was dating Hannah Kennedy.
Did you move for a girl?
No, me and Hannah, when I was dating her, we went over and visited her grandparents lived over there. And her mom's British.
Holy shit. Yeah. How was that over there? Different change from over here?
Yeah, dude, it was fun.
People are nicer?
Yeah.
Tea and crumpets?
It's not all tea and crumpets.
Is that really?
Look, there was a KFC over there.
What?
A Kentucky Fried Chicken.
In Britain.
In Britain. I swear to God.
I don't believe you.
Dude, I swear to God. Look it up.
We got fish and chips down here, so that makes sense.
It was in Birmingham. And, dude, I was like, when we passed by it, I was like, what the fuck? I said, how are you going to have chicken, like Kentucky Fried Chicken over in England?
That's not England.
Yeah.
This is the Queen's English.
Yeah, like, I was like, what the hell? I said, damn. I said, and it was actually pretty good. They still had, you know how they stopped serving popcorn chicken over here for a while at KFC? They still had the popcorn chicken over there. And the mashed potatoes were the same, you know. They still had the nice gravy on it and shit. I was like,
the true
damn.
question is, was there Arby's?
No, yes, there was.
What?
There was an Arby's.
Oh my god.
And you know what? McDonald's over there, they had, you know how like we used to have the big chicken snack wrap, or the big chicken burritos, or the like the wraps?
Yeah.
They had breakfast wraps over there with like bacon or sausage and egg in them, and it was a one big breakfast wrap.
So
at McDonald's.
When are we going to England?
Dude, I'd go to England again whenever. Like, I love England. Like,
what's the best parts you found about it besides having KFC? You know,
it was just like it was proper. You know, like I liked. And the scenery over there is beautiful. You know, like the Walsall Arboretum in Birmingham is really nice. And, you know, and we went around, like, you know, we went to London and we went to, I rode one of the world's the world's fastest roller coasters over there, and the tallest roller coaster at a place called Alton Towers. The roller coaster was called the Smiler.
They make you smile?
It has a lot of G-forces and makes you... You know, your face gets like pushed back, and no, England's it's nice over there. You know,
I think the architecture is a hell of a lot better than
it is, and that's what I mean. Like, it's pretty over there.
When you see the beauty in someone making something like that, and seeing like the craft of like how intricate the stonework can be,
and you know, there's no crime over there, which, you know, like I'm like, you know, right to bear arms. You know, like I'm an advocate for that, but you know, over there's no crime because guns are outlawed. You can't carry, you're not allowed to have a gun in England unless you're like a farmer and you're allowed to have a shotgun or something like that. But just to kill, like, you know,
that's like the basis
a fox or something.
That's the basis of Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
That whole movie. That's a good ass movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but yeah, I remember it being pretty good. But, you know, and, but the thing about, like, you know, and it's just, the crime down there is off, and, you know, like, even if you did commit a crime over there or tried to, you get caught because there's like 30,000 cameras just in London, like all around. Like, they have like cameras on every street in London, so, you know, like they watch you all day long. Like, they could watch you walk from one end of London to the other.
Well, one of the best actually secret government programs of Central Intelligence is the OSS, which is actually British intelligence. Yeah,
British intelligence. Yep, and which is MI5. Then MI6 is like our FBI.
Yeah, which is ridiculous because you know, the Russians were using British people to build their spacecrafts and stuff. You know, the original rocket ship, the NASA space shuttle.
Yeah.
Well, then that's actually a Nazi German influenced invention. That's what they were going to use as their stealth bomber. And it was actually half the size of the thing. So imagine the wings being up higher and it being a lot shorter.
Yeah.
And that's actually why the Russian spaceship looks a lot like that one, because theirs was shorter to get up there. Yeah. They were using Nazis and everything like that to fuel their space program. Same, we were using it too. It's called Operation Paperclip, where they hung the 5 slowest Jews every single day at this testing facility for like space research.
Yeah. Well, and you know, like, we won for making bombs. You know, like our weapons of mass destruction was like Dr. Oppenheimer. You know, he created the first atomic bomb.
Manhattan Project.
Well, the Manhattan Project. You're right. And and he created the first atomic bomb, and he said that we are the world's superpower now. He said everybody will cower in fear at us. You know, and they did.
Have you seen the neutron bomb? Or not what's it called? The neutron bomb, I think it's called. There's the atomic bomb and there's a neutron bomb.
Nuclear bomb.
No, there's one that's called the neutron bomb, and it really there's nothing left, not dust, anything. It's gone.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and that's so crazy to think.
Well, atomic bomb does the same thing though. It burns. I mean, if you're within the radius of its blast radius, you're done. You're ash.
Have you seen when they were first testing those out, the first nuclear like atomic bombs and stuff like that, before the ones they were gonna drop on in Japan or Hiroshima? Have you heard the people's recounting the tales of that? They said that they were told that when they were all sitting on the front of this ship, they were testing it out basically on our own people, but they were testing it way down the line, like see how far it would react to somebody. So if I'm standing at a certain distance from the explosion, how far am I going to get impacted by the effects of it? And they're all sitting there. They were told to get on the front of this naval ship and sit down, like, hands, knees, and then head in your lap, basically, in a way, and just keep ducked down and don't look at the light or you'll go blind or something. And they said that through their closed eyes, they could see like an X-ray, and they could see their bones in their hands and everything, and feel the heat. And it felt like it was never going to end. And like just to hear that from these people that are recounting the story, to think, oh my God, like imagine being like in that. Like it's like the scene from Wolverine where his skin starts ripping off and stuff like that. Like it's crazy to think how far weapons can go.
They do like a lot of like most of our like weapons research now is done on the water, and and we still like that's where like they like shoot missiles off and they'll self-destruct them in the middle of the water, like right before it hits the water they'll self-destruct it, and so it still blows up, just to see how far it goes, and like our missiles and stuff, that's how they see how far it can shoot, they'll shoot it around and then they'll just drop it in the water. It'll be a dud. It won't have a warhead on it, but that's how they do it. But this thing with Kim Jong-un, fucking idiot. But he just.
The interview, I just watched that again last night. That's
that movie's funny as shit. I watched that a couple weeks ago, and I was sitting there, because my aunt's never seen that movie, and me and her, I was watching it with her and her husband. And like how Eminem on there, he was saying like he was gay in the beginning of it. My aunt loves Eminem. She grew up in that like area when he started getting famous, and all of us love Eminem, I guess.
Yeah, his documentary is actually out on Netflix where he's explaining his whole music thing wasn't to popularize like being a gangster rapper. It was supposed to popularize like him wearing the same clothing and not being able to wash them over and over again like. He wore his Alf shirt and all that stuff. Like it was the idea of him being like, you come from the struggle, literally.
Yeah.
And it's where, like, I don't know if you know too much about Pastafarianism, but I don't want to get into that whole subject. But I mean, it's the fact that if you give someone a rope that's only 10 feet, they're going to end up taking a mile with it.
And it's right, they will.
You can find true inner meaning in everything. And like, where something that can be as ridiculous as Pastafarianism, worshipping a giant pasta god, or something as serious as your case where you had your car accident and everything. You obviously took the right steps in how to proceed with that, but was there any points where you felt like you needed to give up and like you just didn't want to go on anymore? Obviously, you probably experienced that maybe multiple times.
When I first found out that he passed away, I had second doubts, and because I still feel horrible, but like. You cannot dwell over something for the rest of your life and think that you're ever going to be able to get on. I think about it all the time, and I'm not and I know what happened was wrong, and but you just have to move on from certain things in your life because you cannot dwell over it. It's gonna kill you. It'll kill you.
Well, you took a tragic scenario and a tragic outcome, and you turned it into something to learn from, and you don't dwell too much on the past about it, but you focus on what you can do for steps to avoid that and ways you can alert and influence others on avoiding that same situation.
Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, because that's what I want to do. I want to teach kids that they can't go out and drink and drive.
You're doing these speeches at this school.
When?
I said when you're doing these speeches. Yeah. Do you what's your whole speech on? You gotta have a certain thing you say, or you just freeball it?
No, I'm gonna write a speech, and
Does it vary on the school? Obviously, besides switching the school's name or something like that.
When I start doing more speeches, and I'm actually gonna go around to high schools, and because I gotta call the schools, and then they have to, I gotta do certain things, and to get cleared to talk, and and at Decatur, Miss Cater, she came and she, and she talked.
What was that all about? The hand signal.
Because Decatur, Miss Cater,
Oh yeah.
And so, her Miss Cater and Miss Tennell emailed me and asked me if I'd come and speak at the pre-prom assembly.
Was that your first one?
What?
That was your first speech?
No, that's April 10th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna go speak there, and this whole brand new speech I'm gonna do just because it's our home school, and and I'm gonna get that done, and I gotta send it to them. I gotta send them the draft of what I'm gonna start speaking about. Because I haven't shown pictures, to anybody except people have seen them on my social media and stuff, but I want the kids at the school to see certain pictures that I didn't post of of the car being all bloody and stuff and all that type of stuff, so they can see and how bad it was crushed. They need to see this stuff because hopefully it'll save a couple lives. Hopefully.
For sure. I mean, you got to think though, when you're your impact of your speech, it's got to have many factors in it. Because first of all, impact kids that were, think of us back in that situation.
Yeah,
having that one guy came to our school telling us about how his life's like.
Yeah, fuck you.
That we were all like that. So it's you got to make sure that you outline the seriousness of drinking and driving.
I will, and these kids will listen to me. I mean, I have.
You're not that much older than them anyway.
Yeah.
So. I
mean, I have a pretty strong.
Reach,
yeah. With speaking, I can, I'm not saying I'm a bullshitter.
You can sell ketchup to a woman in white gloves.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And I can just I'll sell you your fucking pen. I'll steal your pen and sell it back to you. And it's just.
I'm pretty sure you did that to me at one point.
But it's just there's certain things that you got to learn how to do, and I think that these kids with the speech that I want to give them, they're gonna, they'll get something out of it. I hope they do.
Yeah. Because
I don't want them going out and drinking and driving. I don't want them drinking. Period. Right now. Yeah, go have your fun.
Yeah, you're in a developmental stage.
Yeah, but go have your fun, but. Just don't overdo it like I did.
Yeah, if you go and get your stomach pumped in high school, you got a problem.
There's a problem, and I'm not going to mention no names, but whoever, if she's listening, or a couple of the she's I know are listening to this, you're still a fucking idiot because I remember getting your stomach pumped in high school.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not saying the name either. But dude, what you're doing is it's the most beneficial thing for these kids out there, and they're not going to realize that. And hopefully one day, I don't realize half the stuff, the importance of probably reading a book in high school, and I didn't take too seriously the ability to focus on class. And I'm paying for education. I'm paying to get the knowledge that I was receiving for free. And it's hard to understand that when you're the kid that you think that you're going to be able to grab life by the balls. But once you get the real world.
Yeah, if I could go back to high school right now, I would. I'd do high school all over again.
Eating fucking Doritos and tearing up chips and not gaining a pound, and then being able to freaking not have any bills or gas.
Yeah, I paid for my gas when I was in high school for my cars. I had 3 cars at one time.
I also think the reason why we were probably also thin back then was because we were getting a hell of a lot more exercise than we are now. Because before we had a car, we had to take our fucking bikes.
Yeah, damn right. We were riding around, Ocean Pines here.
Because if you were gonna get to your friend's house, that's the only way you could.
Yeah, damn right. Because my best friend was Mitchell, or is Mitchell, I guess. He's still my best friend, and one of my best friends. I have a few best friends, but. And he lived all the way at the end of Windjammer. And I live, you saw where my house is today.
You live, we all live beside each other. We didn't even know. That was the weird thing. And we just randomly be on the street, like, hey, you live down here?
Yeah. And, so Mitchell lived all the way at the end of Windjammer down there. And, I'd ride my bike over there every day. And, we'd ride to South Ocean Pines over to Brandon Ignowski's house, or God rest his soul, my buddy Trent Russo.
Yeah.
And,
I totally forgot about Trent, too.
Yeah, man.
Was that an overdose? What was it?
Yeah, it was. And,
we don't have to go into the specifics, obviously, but...
Yeah, no, yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Damn, it's crazy to think, man, because I remember my dad, 5 years ago, when basically around the time we graduated and everything, he pulled out his yearbook and was showing me all the pictures of his high school reunion, doing what the parents do or grandparents do to reminisce. And then he's showing me all these like people's names that are crossed out and like faces that are marked off. And I'm like, why? And he was like, these are all the people that died since I graduated high school. I'm like, Dad, you haven't only been out of high school for like 30-something years, and you're telling me basically more than 75% of your thing is like people are dead. And he goes, yeah, people made dumb decisions. My dad's best friend was killed.
What's the word on that kid Tyler Birch that
I have no clue about
what
that,
happened
man.
He
was apparently he was a couple grades behind us, but he was like I don't know. I don't know the whole logistics of it. He was young though.
Yeah. Well, you had who was your friend that shot himself? Didn't you have a friend or Caleb Quilla?
No, that was my buddy's mom.
That shot herself? I thought it was a guy. He shot himself in his room. Like, it was one of Caleb Quilla's friends in Berlin.
Oh, Justin.
I guess.
Yeah, I wasn't really friends with that guy. I mean, I knew him when he first moved down here, back when he was like a big, like, chubby kid.
Yeah.
But I mean, he would come over to Matt Bristie's house all the time.
Yeah.
And I always hung out with Matt back then.
How's Matt doing?
He's doing good. He's the one that made my intro for my podcast.
Okay, cool.
I had a podcast with him, but I haven't put it up. It's been saved on my phone for probably like since I first started the podcast, like 4 months ago, because it's Matt. I mean, I can get him to talk, but like he's quiet. Yeah.
Does he still have long hair, or does he have short hair?
No, he's short hair, tattooed up, goes to school in Towson.
He's in college?
Yeah.
Never saw that.
I did. I saw that kid going somewhere. I saw him taking a music path, but he took a whole different trip down the road.
You got braces yet? Or no?
I haven't got them either. Broke, man.
Yeah. Well, my teeth got pushed back again. So, I mean, they're not too bad, but, I still got a little, like, my tooth just got pushed back a little bit when I hit the tree. But, I mean, you'll get there,
It's a slow recovery, but it's going to take time, and there's going to be stuff you're never going to forget about it. But the main thing I want to ask you is, did you check your dick? This is the first thing I would check.
Damn right I did. I made sure I could
check. As soon as I woke up, I was like, is my dick there? It didn't get ripped off.
No, because, like, I couldn't feel, like, when I first woke up, like, my legs were still numb, and I thought I was paralyzed,
Oh, that's a shocking, scary feeling right there.
Dude, I went and I felt like I fucking put my hand down my pants, made sure I could still feel my dick. So I was like, damn. I was like,
You don't want someone pissing for you. You want to be able to piss.
Yeah, I want to be able to piss. I want to be able to fuck.
Yeah. Shit, man. That's see, I was on when I got hit by a jet ski. I think it was like the second year after I graduated high school.
You worked at Waterways, didn't you? Or
I worked at multiple places. I worked at Paradise Water Sports. Then the podcast I did today with Action Water Sports and Odyssey Water Sports. But when I was working at the people that own Paradise, I was hit by a jet ski, and when I got hit by the jet ski, they wheeled me in the hospital, put me in a wheelchair, locked the wheelchair by the bathroom because they needed to make sure I could piss, and there wasn't any blood in it. And that was the day that the waves were so bad on the ocean that 4 people got paralyzed.
Yeah.
And they wheeled me next to a girl that just became paralyzed, and she was waking up from...
Holy shit.
Yeah, and her parents were holding onto her hand, and they were like, can you feel this? And she was like, no, and they were all crying. And I was like, can someone wheel me away from this fucking scenario? And I was too hurt to unlock the wheelchair, so I had to sit there and listen to this family cry about their daughter being paralyzed. I'm like, first of all, the fact of losing a child is something, but the fact that you have a child that's not going to be able to... that's lived their life and not going to be able to move their limbs ever again and not be back to functioning how it was before. It's the same thing you can probably experience just with not being at your full capacity to how you were before. I mean, that's got to be kind of like a shitty reason to you, but I think you take it more of as like a sign that like life moves on. I mean, you're doing well. Hell, you're doing better than I am when it comes to relationships and stuff like that. So you're got to focus on all the good parts. And with society, we're also focused on comparing ourselves to others. What does this person have that I don't have? What does this person have that I have? And or it's like we need to stop doing that. We'll start worrying more about ourselves and less focus on other people.
Yeah, and I told you I was dating Caitlin Kramer. And we went to middle school with her, and she moved away, and me and her have always been good friends, and we were always friends.
There's a connection.
Yeah, and we always had a connection, and we've always had love for each other, and we finally linked up again, and we started talking, and we started dating, and
you deleted the Tinder app, and you
Yeah, basically. You know, I haven't been on Tinder in so damn long. Like, when I first got back out of jail, you know, I got on Tinder.
You got on Grindr, too, I bet.
Fuck off. But,
tell me you never tried that meat sandwich in the jail?
Hell no. Fucking no.
You were there 2 years, didn't masturbate?
A year. No, I'm not saying I didn't masturbate. I was in the fucking shower. You know,
that's why you gotta hope your buddy's a freaking heavy snorer or something, so you know when he's asleep.
No, you do not. That's one thing you don't do. That can get you killed. You masturbate while somebody's in the room with you. Don't do that. That's wrong. You know. But you went in the shower and did it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And
get clean that way too.
Yeah, well, I guess. You know, and I mean, people made fifis and everything else, which is like make fake pussy out of gloves.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Did you make toilet wine?
I didn't, but yeah, people did.
What was the craziest thing like that you saw that was in a movie that would be in a jail scenario that's actually real? Besides toilet wine and stuff like that, like people hiding drugs,
lighting cigarettes with batteries.
How? What?
Yeah, you take 2 batteries and you put them on like a positive and negative, and you put like staples on top of them, and you put it on a metal surface, and you touch the 2 connector or the 2 staples together. Like you put 1 staple on positive, 1 staple on negative, and then you put them down on the piece of metal or whatever you're using, and you can in the middle it'll start glowing red hot, and you can light a cigarette with it.
What fucking Da Vinci's are put in jail right now? That's some out of the freaking mind of Elon Musk shit. See, if I had the ability to time travel, I would go back to Leonardo da Vinci's time period.
Yeah,
and I would chill there.
And see what. Well, you know, like I've always been a cowboy at heart, you know, and worked at Frontier Town, and
I actually had Josiah on my podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was explaining to me that the whole fighting of bulls and how his passion came for that.
Bullfighting and shit. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but you know, like I worked at Frontier Town for a few years, and you know, because I was dating, like I said, I was dating that girl Hannah, and you know, and I worked there before we started dating, but. You know, I loved Frontier Town. That was like my favorite place to be. You know, I got paid to shoot guns all day. Like, who wouldn't love that?
Yeah, you get to basically pay to play fantasy.
Yeah, you know, like who wouldn't like I robbed trains and stagecoaches, like, and did shows and got
You
got
probably
paid
don't want to write that on your resume if you're going somewhere.
Well, I put on there like if like on my resume I put that I was an actor.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, 'cause,
stripper. Stripping's acting, so.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I could be a male stripper. You know, I'd go down on ladies' nights, and
Saturday night at the Gilf Club, or the beef club.
Yeah, go on the MILF Club. All MILFs allowed.
Dude. I mean, it's something. I'm glad that you're chasing down the machinery aspect and like the engineering thing. I know we haven't really touched on that a whole lot, but like you've always been. You know, able to troubleshoot and be very, very crafty and like just creative when it comes to, first of all, creating excuses and also creating wonderful inventions that are ghetto as shit, but they work.
Yeah, damn right. I used to do a lot of dumb shit when we were in Mr. Asbell class. You know, just make stuff and you know, made it work.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people don't when it comes to a certain problem, like they don't know how to fix it, but like. The fact that you can troubleshoot and go all these different scenarios and then, you know, come back from an accident and not focus too heavy on the dark side of it where people would just lock themselves away and kind of dwell on it the whole time. You focused on the bright side of, like, you need to get the message out there that this shouldn't be happening and it's something that kids don't even think about, man. They're totally... You got to understand the whole aspect of being a kid, too. I mean, you remember how dumb you were at that age. I mean, how dumb I was. It's like...
Yeah, all of us were dumb. Every single one of us that were in high school were dumb, you know? Like, we all did stupid shit. I don't care if you were the nerdiest kid in the world. Like, you were still doing something. You know, I don't care. Like, you could be Mitchell Cooper. And you were still doing something. Which he was just, I don't know. He was weird. But.
He got his kinks. Everyone's got their kinks, man.
You know,
some people get off on the fact that they can drop a cement block on their loved one's head in the middle of a pool. That's their fantasy dream scenario. Yeah. That's what gets them off.
But, you know, like everybody had something going on with them in high school and middle school and whatever.
I think when you walked away from your accident, I think the best thing, good thing that didn't happen to you is that you pulled some type of mental crutch out of it. I mean, obviously you have your mental crutches, but you didn't pull out some major, 10-second Tom off 50 first dates where you can't remember more than 10 seconds. The next
he said, "Hi, I'm Tom."
Hi, I'm Tom.
He turned around, and Adam Sandler was like, "Yeah, hey, what's up, man?" And he'd be like, "Hi, I'm Tom."
He goes, "Yeah, we've met before, Tom."
Yeah.
We did? Tom, you're in a tragic car accident, and now you can only remember
said,
10 seconds. Oh my God, am I all right? I love that part. That's great. I mean, that's a good thing, though. I mean, even though where you say your memory's slowly coming back, it's cool that you didn't lose it entirely. Like, you have that type of crutch. Because, I mean, imagine you wouldn't be able to imagine because you forget every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, my brain injury wasn't serious. You know, it for a while I had no filter. You know, so I'd say
Timmy, you've always had no filter.
Yeah, but
that's one of the things I really enjoy about you is because you know you speak your mind. You know, like you keep shit real on a real level. I know if I ever wanted to have a real conversation with someone and get their real opinion and views or anything, you wouldn't filter anything out.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. But the thing is, I'd say rude things to people. It wasn't even I'd walk up to somebody and if I didn't like your appearance, I'd tell you about it.
So you had a temporary Tourette's.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And and it got better, and and I was just impulsive. I didn't give a fuck about anything. I just
It's hard to give a fuck after all that, man. And it's not that I wouldn't just chalk that up to just your brain being messed up, but I'd chalk that up to being it's really hard to give a fuck in general. Half the time I'm walking around the world and I find it hard.
Yeah.
Just not to speak my mind about certain shit. I see stuff that kind of blows my mind or be like, why did that just happen? It's a little bit ridiculous in its notions.
Yeah, damn right.
Just how society is too, but now, were you scared on the fact that as soon as you thought that when you were going to get better that they were going to take you away?
No, I mean I knew I was going to go away. I mean I knew I wasn't going to.
Did you have a day marked in the calendar?
No, I mean because it took almost a year for for them to pursue charges against me, and they did, and
The family did?
No, well the state.
The state did.
Yeah. And the family did too, and and I knew I was gonna go away. I had a lawyer and everything, and my really expensive damn lawyer, damn it. But and he did me a good favor. I would have been in prison 10 years if it wasn't for my lawyer. So I took the plea, and I have a felony now, but I'll be able to in 5 years after my probation ends, I'll be able to get that off. So I'm not too worried about it. They'll drop it down to a probation before judgment, and that's the end of it. And then I'll be scot-free again. I'll be able to own guns again. I'll be able to do whatever I want. And I'll be fine. Which not whatever I want. Because I'm still gonna be sober. I'm not drinking ever again. But I just I'll be able to actually get on with my life and just leave this little. Not little, but leave this part of my life behind.
Did you take any type of religious stand? Did you get real into God or anything, or did you might have lost faith a little bit towards that?
No, I mean I didn't lose faith, but I didn't gain any either. I guess you could say,
like most people turn to religion in a scenario like that. But.
No, I didn't. There's certain I believe in God, and. I mean, I'm not like a church-going person, I don't go to church all the time.
You should be able to worship it like Homer Simpson says. Worship it, praying like hell on your deathbed.
Yeah. But, and I mean, I just, there's no, I don't see, like I said, I'll go and speak to people at churches or whatever about, drinking and driving and, how it affects people, but, I'm not one of those church-going people that sit there and...
You're not the one that believes in going to church every single day and doing stuff like that.
I don't believe that going to church makes you Christian or whoever you are. If you're Jewish, you go to a synagogue.
Why would God want you not to eat a certain meat? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I mean. It's just Orthodox Jewish people don't eat certain meat either. They don't eat pork.
You're talking to a Jew, so.
Oh, you're Jewish?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then Orthodox Jewish people, they don't eat pork.
I'm Pastafarian.
Oh, yeah?
That's the real religion. There's one that worships a giant invisible pink unicorn, so it's...
Yeah, people. And they don't... And Orthodox Jewish people, they don't eat shellfish either. And, I was like, what the fuck? I said... why don't you guys eat shellfish? Or like they don't eat any bottom feeders. They don't eat crabs.
That's just what they don't do. I mean, bottom feeders aren't really good in my opinion anyway.
Yeah, well I know, but I was just surprised that they don't eat like pork and stuff like that. But it's like and because obviously like you probably know Jewish people like they don't eat dairy with meat.
I'm not Jewish, but
I know you're not Jewish. But
I just let people know because everyone calls me and says I look like a Jew.
But Jewish people don't eat dairy with meat.
Yeah.
So they can't eat cheeseburgers, or they can't eat like pepperoni pizza or sausage pizza, or
they're missing out on life. And Hindu people can't do, or
Indian Hindu people can't eat beef.
Indian people can't eat cows.
Well, that's Hindu.
They believe that's a sacred thing.
Yeah, it's their sacred animal, and just like I don't know, it's just like Muslims, they don't eat pork, but
do you believe in an afterlife?
I don't know. That's tricky,
I think if you die, you die.
That's what I'm saying. I think you just die. I feel like you have a spirit. I feel like you have a spirit, definitely,
in essence,
and a soul. But I think there might be like something out there, but I don't know if
we're never truly gonna know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean.
Well, the crazy part about religion is Russell Teapot's theory. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it's basically if I told you there was a teapot floating around the sun between Earth and Mars, you'd have no way to prove it. So it's about the whole aspect of religion. Like it's an unfalsifiable claim. Like there's no evidence towards it. There's no evidence on religion unless you've experienced
the Bible
yourself.
is just one big book that has.
The Bible was written by man, so
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. And it was written by many men, not just one.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just stories. They're
a lot of them seem like there's exaggeration on it too, like being able to part the seas. Eventually, it's like, does it become to the point like if I told a group of 30 kids to stand in a line and then each one whispers down something I tell them, how long
and
until
by the end of it, it's not. It's going to be totally changed.
Yeah, the whole story's going to be different.
Do you remember when in Mr. Asbell's class when he took that machine and
the electrical thing and we all held it and then the current went all the way through us?
Well, but remember in the middle it was worse than it was on the ends?
Yes, because that's where most of the power was getting subjected towards.
Exactly. So, but we were holding it on the ends. But since it was meeting in the middle...
That's where all of it would come together.
Yeah. So it hurt more in the middle than it did on the ends. And we're the ones that were holding them, Like I had one in this hand, and I was holding somebody else's hand. And then I forgot who was holding it on the other side. I think it was Logan Isaacs.
Yeah.
His dad's the maintenance man.
Yeah, he's someone I'm getting on the podcast.
Oh, yeah? His dad's the maintenance man at
the jail.
At jail, yeah. I didn't know that until I left.
I'm getting his buddy Alec on there, too. I don't know if you ever met Alec.
Yeah, I know Alec.
Me and Logan and Alec would tear up banana nut muffins. And you were in Mr. Stevenson's class, with me. So. Yeah. You know Alec, but Alec's coming down on the podcast too.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, I remember we used to order snacks.
Banana nut muffins right in the morning, dude. Those Spud Mucker muffins, and I found out you can get them at 7-Eleven. Mm-hmm. Those are the best things, man. You pay $1.
No, I remember we used to order snacks, and we used to write them on the list, and like we had them in class.
They used to be 50 cents, and then they raised the price to $1. And it was like, because they're so freaking popular. And you remember they would do the buy one get two free when they wouldn't be selling them.
Oh, you remember like I'd get like 4 bags of Doritos, and I'd just sit in the class, and I'd eat the Doritos
with a Mountain Dew and a Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
Try doing that now.
And dude, like honestly, I'm hungry, so fucking I gotta eat something later. But I'm like.
We'll wrap it up, man.
No, you're good. No, I'm good, dude.
We've already talked for like an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I told you, you're talking to me, so the shit's just gonna fly, dude. So I mean,
if you want to wrap it up, we can.
Dude, I can keep shooting the shit, bro.
Yeah, well, we can shoot the shit for another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll roll out.
Yeah, get some Taco Bell or some shit. I'm getting ready for bed, dude. I gotta get up at 4 in the morning here shortly. Yeah. But I was like, I wanted, because I know we've just set this up for weeks. Like, I wanted to get this podcast every week.
Yeah, well, we can do a part 2 if you want. I'm coming down for spring break March 9th.
Right on, dude. We'll definitely do that. That's right. Spring break's coming up.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. I'm so happy I'm off. But, like, it's crazy, man. Because I first of all, I even appreciate you coming down here and explaining the situation. I'm glad. Like, I hope I don't feel like I pressured you to answer anything.
Oh, no, you didn't, bro.
I'm about to say,
I wanted to come on and talk. You know,
and
so.
I'm glad that we highlighted, you know, obviously what you wanted to talk about when it came to the whole accident and everything like that. But I hope that you don't feel like we focused too much on it in the podcast. I hope we focused on like kind of everything.
We're shooting the shit, man. And I'm glad that, you know, because hopefully somebody will listen to this that's like, wow, you know, like.
Because I mean, first of all, it's difficult. Like when you're talking, like when you go and probably do like an interview or you talk somewhere. That's what you're there for. So that's what they're focused on. It's like, you know, how many times does someone actually get to shoot the shit with you? How many times is you look at your buddies or your friends or you're someone that you're hanging out with and you can see it on them wanting to ask the questions. I think if you get it out of the way first, get all the bullshit out of the way, then you can get down to the real thing, the real essence and tone of the podcast conversation or just conversation in general. All right, well, like I said, Timmy, I appreciate you being on the podcast.
Hey, man, it was nice talking to you.
Good shooting the shit.